Now let's get into the drama, okay? Hey Curlies, it's Curly Kyra. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, of course, don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Also, hit that post notification bell because you don't want to miss out on any of my videos, especially not this month because I'm posting one video every day for the whole month of July, and you are gonna want to stay tuned. Today is actually a fun video. Somebody requested that I do a little chit chat about high school, and I thought that was a really fun idea, so I'm basically just going to talk about my first year in high school. In my province of Canada, grades 7 to 11 is considered high school, but because I go to a private school, they kind of like incorporate the middle school and senior school, so grade 7 and 8 is middle school, and then after 9 to 11 is senior school. I go to private school, all of our classes are way smaller, so there's no more than 16 kids in each of my classes, and there's literally 100 kids in our whole grade. What I thought was something that's super cool is every grade in my school, so the first week, in between the first week of school, they actually, each grade does something. So for grade 7, what I did was we all went to a sleepaway camp for 3 days. That was the longest I ever been away from my parents, but it was really fun. I basically just got to bond and make a bunch of new friends that so that once I got to school, I already knew people. And also at my school, we do houses, with kind of like in Harry Potter. So I kind of got to know the people that were in my house, and I knew the people I was going to end up sitting with at lunch and having advisory with and stuff like that. In the camp, we're basically split into groups within kind of our houses so that we also just got to bond with everybody and get to know everyone. We did canoeing, we did parkour, we did kind of like a teacher scavenger hunt one night where the whole grade is basically looking for all the teachers, but you have to find them in order. That was really fun. We got to kind of use teamwork. The canoeing was fun. I kept tipping over my canoe. But yeah, it was really fun. The food was whatever. But actually sleeping and stuff was really fun because they expected us to be asleep by 8, but we fell asleep at 11. Everybody was talking in our bunks and just hanging out, having a good time, getting to meet each other. And also I think it was a 2-hour bus ride made it also really fun because that's also where we got to know each other before we even got to the camp. Yeah. Of course, after the camp, there was a weekend in between, then school started, and I was super nervous because I thought, okay, we already had this camp, so we're just gonna go straight into school, straight into work. My first time in high school, I didn't know what to expect, what the classes were going to be like, what we were going to do, how much homework it was going to be. But actually, I think my school did a really good job on kind of reassuring us and getting us into the schoolwork slowly. Actually, the weekend after, when we went to school for the first time, we actually had, that whole week was an orientation week. So we didn't even start work. We received our school iPads. We learned how to set them up, how to send emails, how to use some apps we possibly didn't use in school already. About all of our classes, how they're gonna work. We met a bunch of teachers, all the clubs and opportunities we had. So yeah, I feel that also helped a lot. Just that first week of just still getting to know people, kind of figuring out how the rest of the school year is gonna go. That was super helpful. Even after that first orientation week, even classes were still really progressing super slowly. We were doing small workloads, not too much homework, just kind of getting into the vibe of things. Yeah, teachers were super understanding and taking time, doing workbooks super slowly, doing a bunch of review from the year before, which was super helpful. And oh yeah, clubs and sports. So the clubs that I joined art club. I did choir for a little bit, but it kind of didn't really continue too much. I also did student council. I got elected for student council. That was super fun. I just ran because I felt why not? That could be a fun thing to try. And I mean, already at the beginning of the year, I had a bunch of friends and a bunch of people voted for me, and I was in student council. So every Tuesday morning, my mom would drop me after school a bit earlier, and I have a student council meeting. Student council is really fun because it wasn't a lot of my friends that were actually in it, so I kind of got to collaborate with different people, and it was middle school student council, so the meetings were grade 7 and 8, so I also got to hang out with some grade 8s. And then for sports that I did, I basically only did basketball competitively, And then I also did tennis as a recreational sport because I just wanted to do something in the fall. But I definitely think for this year coming, I really want to try doing flag football and volleyball. So just kind of like spreading out and seeing what other sports I might like trying. I wanted to do flag last year, but it was kind of close to exams and I want to study a lot. But definitely this year I'm going to do flag, volleyball, still basketball. Maybe I'll try competitive tennis. Just a bunch of things I haven't tried yet to get myself out of my comfort zone. And also every Thursday after school they have pickleball and badminton, which is also recreational, so I did that. Pickleball is actually really fun. I still don't really understand the rules that much, but it is pretty fun. Few people explained it to me. It's a really fun game to play. Like, if you're bored, I definitely recommend trying pickleball. Now, let's get into the drama, okay? Actually, there is none. My school is perfect, pretty much. There's no drama. Everybody's friends with everybody. Nobody talks behind each other's back. Nobody arguing. No beef with anybody. It's basically just, if you're not friends with someone, you're not. Like, everybody kind of has their own cliques. Everybody talks to everybody. You're not always in the same classes as all your friends, so that also helps a lot. Like, even if you're not friends with them, you kind of have to be, or at least talk to each other and hang out with each other because you're in classes together. So I definitely think, yeah, no beef, no drama at all.
Oh my God! Wow!
So now we're going to go into kind of the advice I would give to somebody who's going into high school or like grade 7 next year, because that's basically the only thing I have experience with. When it comes to grade 7, I definitely would say, like, I don't know if this only applies for my school, but I feel like you don't really have to be nervous. Like, you're going to feel like, oh my God, we're going from grade 6 to grade 7. It's going to be huge jump, so much more work, like, all of that stuff. It's not that bad. Like, comparing my homework and workload from grade 6 to grade 7, it wasn't that bad. It's super easy to kind of catch on. I mean, I feel like grade 7 is a little bit more flexible than elementary school was. Like, I can ask for like a little bit of like extra time if I didn't finish something. If I have a lot of different things to do, I could ask if I can have it due like a few days after, or if I can have a chat with my teacher and like figure out if I can like, yeah, fix up my schedule a bit. So I really would say don't be nervous. Also, try new things. Like, I feel like a lot of my older friends, like I have a friend, she's going to grade 10. She was telling me like grade 9 is kind of like a hard year. It gets harder progressively from grade 8 to grade 9. So grade 7 and grade 8, basically middle school, like have fun and try a bunch of different things. Try a bunch of sports, clubs, just do a bunch of stuff you wouldn't regularly do because you don't really know if you're going to have time in like the grades coming up because the work is going to be a lot harder. So definitely make sure to try a bunch of stuff you're not comfortable with just to see. You might find something new that you end up loving. I'm going to talk about how I manage my schedule with my business, my basketball that I play outside, workload, and homework, all of that stuff. I definitely think I was really good at managing my time, using calendars and like setting reminders for myself, making lists, like, okay, we're going to do homework, have a snack, film content, practice basketball, so that I definitely know I have a schedule on time. And I still have time to just do fun things, watch TV, go on my iPad. Like, I still do a bunch of that stuff, but I also make sure to keep my priorities on top and get all of that stuff done. So I definitely think Google Calendar, if your school uses Google Classroom, I feel like it's so good. It tells you when stuff's due, how many days, make sure you have everything, turned in. So yeah, I think that type of stuff really kept me organized and helped me a lot. And also I was in this group with a few other kids where the teacher gave us a calendar that we just write down all our homework, when it's due, check it off when it's done. That also helped a lot. And then the way she kept us motivated was we got pizza at the end if everybody kept using their schedule. So yeah, I think motivating yourself is good with like a treat at the end. If you say like, okay, I'm gonna buy myself this thing I really wanted if I really stay on task and make sure to get all my work done. Also, more advice that I have is just do your homework. If I'm being so honest, sometimes I do my homework the day of or like before the class. My mom is like literally, she never knew this.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Sometimes I do it like at lunch the day of and stuff. What? But it's okay. It's okay. Most of the time I do it at home, but sometimes I'm lazy and I don't feel like doing it, so I like do it at lunch. But most of the time I do actually do it at home. Most of the time, like 95% of the time. It was only like 4 times I did it at lunch. And sometimes the teachers don't even check. But that doesn't mean I don't do it. I always do my homework because that's what helps you in the test. And also study really hard for your exams. Like exams, I feel like my school has winter exams and June exams. For winter exams, I was really nervous. And then I felt like it was like, okay, it's not that bad. But for June exams, it was like all the stuff that we learned for the whole school year. So I kind of underestimated that. I still did study, but I feel like I could have studied a lot more stuff that I didn't know was going to be on the test. So I feel like that just means be prepared. Because you don't know what's going to be on the exam. So just be prepared for everything. That's pretty much everything. My experience for high school was great. I love my school, all my friends, all the opportunities I have in my school, I love. All my teachers, I had no problems. And yeah, that's basically my little chit chat about grade 7. And I hope this really helped you out for when you're going to school. Definitely take my advice. Don't do your homework the day of at lunch because you want to go outside for lunch, but now you have to sit inside and do your homework. So don't do that. I wouldn't recommend. And also don't copy other people's homework because you have brain cells too. You can do it. Some people, you might think, oh my God, they're so smart. I'm just going to ask them for their homework. Don't do that. The teacher can most likely tell. And also don't use AI. They can also tell. If you think like, oh, they're not going to check because I typed it in instead of copy pasting, no. They're going to be able to tell. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend using ChatGPT for your homework. But that's it for my little chat about high school. I hope you enjoyed. Of course, don't forget to like, share, most importantly, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what kind of videos you want to see next. And if you want another one of these when I'm like in grade 8 or mid grade 8, like what do you want to know how I'm doing in school? Thank you so much for watching. Bye, Curlies.